Hello, friends. It's I, Tauby, the great art detective, coming to you from the Taubman Museum of Art. And I'm in this fabulous exhibition on this beautiful tapestry from the Hodges Family Collection. And this is so interesting, friends. Yes? But you may notice it's huge. Yes? Do you know what this is? This is a tapestry. Now, you may ask, Tauby, what is a tapestry? Well, a tapestry is a form of textile art. And textile art is art that is made with fabrics. Yes? This is woven. It is a weaving. Yes? So it's almost kind of like a carpet for the wall. Yes, if you want to think of it like that. But this is a very elaborate weaving. Yes? It's beautiful. Now, this is very old. This is from the 16th century. Wow, that's very old, yes? And it is Flemish, so it is from Europe. And what is it showing us, yes? Well, we see some different figures in here. There's all sorts of things going on. And so I did a little bit of investigating, friends, and some of my specialists, they let me know that this is from a story. It's from an epic poem, which is a very long poem, yes? It's called The Iliad by Homer, yeah? And you may be or may not be familiar with some of these stories, but they are from Greek and Roman mythology. Huh? And so, why would you have this big weaving that would hang on the wall? Well, there's lots of different reasons. Think about the 16th century. This is when you have castles, yes? Big stone buildings. And if you're in a big stone building, it gets very cold, yes? And so, by hanging something like this onto the wall, it actually serves as insulation, yeah? And so it allows you to keep the warmth into the room, like having a big blanket for the wall, yes? And this tells a story. It's very interesting to look at. If you also think about the history in 16th century, not a lot of people knew how to read or to write. And so they would learn their stories through pictures like this. Yes? Fabulous. Now, this all had to be woven by hand. There were no machines who did this, yes? And so we actually have, I did some investigating, and some of our friends, they gave us a video, and we have some a video of someone showing us how the weaving would work. And if you think of this big tapestry, you got to think about how did they come up with what they were doing here, yes? You would sketch it out first. You make a sketch. And they called that a cartoon. And so the cartoon would be their guidelines while they were weaving this together. Now, this tapestry is very beautiful, and it has been preserved very nicely, and it still has lots of vibrant colors. Did you know, friends, that they actually use vegetable dyes to get the colors? So vegetable dyes were dyes made from vegetables. What kinds of vegetables would you use to make a dye? Well, I don't know about you, but if you've ever eaten any beets, they're very purple, yes? And so you could boil a beet, and you could get purple water, and then you can dye a fabric with it. Wow, that's amazing. What story would you tell if you were making a tapestry to cover your walls? Maybe you could draw out your own cartoon. Thank you for joining me, friends. We'll see you next time.
Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me today at the Taubman Museum of Art. Today we are going to be creating our own tapestry cartoons. So as we learned, a cartoon for a tapestry is like your first sketch for your finished tapestry, and it's what you use as a guideline while weaving. And so we are going to create our own cartoon. I happen to have this large sheet of brown paper that I'm working off of. You can use a poster board, or you could just use a regular size sheet of paper as well. I have gone ahead and drawn in my center rectangle, which is going to then give me my border. So just like our tapestry that we looked at, we're creating a border around the main part of our story. And the story that I have chosen to represent is the story of Alice in Wonderland. And so I'm not doing the whole story. Instead, I am focusing on the part of the story where Alice meets the Cheshire Cat. And so, for those of you familiar with the story, the Cheshire Cat is this cat who can appear and disappear, and he has this great big smile, which is sometimes a little bit scary. And Alice has asked him for directions. So what I did is I first sketched out my drawing in pencil, and now what I'm doing is going over it with a marker so that my lines are very bold, so that if I were to weave this, then I would know clearly where my lines are for starting and stopping different colors on my loom. So as we know, tapestries sometimes show us different parts of different stories. And so your story can be whatever you want it to be. It's completely up to you. So draw that story part in the middle of your tapestry cartoon. And many of the cartoons sometimes had color on them, sometimes not. Sometimes it would be kind of like a paint by number situation. So you'd actually assign a color, a number, and then you would place that number into your drawing to tell when you should switch from one color to another. Now for your border can be a number of different things. Your border can be different patterns, if you want to just do some really cool patterns to go along with your main storyline, or you can add in some extra details that go along with your story. So for instance, I've decided to include some teacups in my border. To give allusions to the part of the story where Alice has tea with the Mad Hatter. All right. And then I've decided to include a little bottle that says "Drink Me," because Alice is always shrinking or growing depending on the things that she eats or drinks. And so actually I think I'll do also a piece of cake with a little tag that says "Eat Me." Yeah. And over here, I'll do a top hat for the Mad Hatter. And then maybe a card with the hearts on it to talk about the Queen of Hearts. Here. So lots of different things to signify your story and what you're talking about. So using different symbols to show different parts of your story, and then creating one portion of your story in the middle of your tapestry cartoon. I hope you enjoy this form of storytelling, and we'll see you next time.
Hello friends, it is I, Tauby the Great Art Detective, coming to you from the Taubman Museum of Art. And guess what? You finished your session today. Congratulations to you. Yes, you were great art detectives. And I have been investigating all these shiny things, and I am so ready to say our detective motto together. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. We investigate those who create and salute those who inspire, because we know that making art is good for the heart and questioning makes us smarter. I pledge to look, listen, and learn. And if we follow all the clues, we can learn to make great art too. Okay, that's wonderful. Hey friends, I'm gonna keep investigating all these shiny things in here. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.